Okay guys, this is it, the finalized build of my bike, the Loop 795 Blade RS 2023. You guys saw some of the teasers that I posted on Instagram, Discord, and a lot of people roasting on the steer tube, which I've got it cut just today. And here is my initial impressions of the bike after only riding it for 100 kilometers. So I've only done 2 rides on the bike so far, so it's very extremely new. So my comment might not be relevant for now, but just thought that I would like to share with you what are my initial thoughts after having been off the bike for such a long time and then getting back onto my normal riding routine. So let's just start off with the frame itself. So as you can see, the top tube is very long. I don't have the dimensions with me right now, but you guys can just do a Google search. So this is a size S and it's not light. I'm not a weight weenie when I buy my bikes. I just buy them, ride it out, and I don't look at the weight. So this, I weighed it just now at the shop, 7.8 kilos. I was expecting it to be around 8 kilograms or even heavier. My previous bike was a Venge, and that was, I think, coming in at 8. And I think the main factor was these wheels. These are the NVSES 5650 Chris King R45s. Extremely heavy, man. I think these are like 1.7 kilos, so would not recommend them, especially the hubs. The hubs are extremely heavy. Let me just give you a run through of the bike before I just tell you my review of it. So as you can see, this is the Aero. I don't know if they have a name for it, but they might have. They call it the Combo Aero handlebar. So this is in a very matte-ish finish, which I don't like. I don't like. I generally do not like matte frames because they are very hard to maintain. This bar is in a 40 centimeter center to center, I believe. I need a 38, which will hopefully come in Q1 next year. So Cage Cycles, where I bought the bike from, was kind enough to let me use this handlebar while waiting for the other 38 centimeter bar to come. So if I did if you guys have not seen the unboxing video, I did a bit of commentary like why I got this bike. I'm not going to repeat myself. Please check out that video. This video is just more of a rundown of the bike build. And here I have the, I'm not sure if it's 110 or 100. It says here 100 and I was told it's 100, but when you take off this cap, it says it's 110. So when we did the calculation and I measured it, if you measure it from here all the way to somewhere around here, it's about 100, but when you extend it to the center of the stem, it's 110. So you guys tell me how is it meant to be calculated. But anyway, this stem seems to be right. I did a bike fitting a couple of days ago. That video will come out later. My bike fitter Gary, when we did the bike fit, he advised me to leave a 0.5 millimeter stem cap, but I decided to slam it first, and I just left a bit of buffer here, some safety net, and I did not cut it all the way. So luckily Loop has this stem cap. They give you 2 stem caps, one that completely covers the stem and one that allows the steerer tube to protrude out. So I'm just giving a bit of safety net here. When I did my ride, I felt very uncomfortable on the bike. Maybe because I've not ridden for a very long time, and let me just talk about the geometry. This geometry is so damn aggressive. So if you're a newbie rider, I would not suggest this frame. Reason being, the head tube is very short. So as you can see, even with spacers, the drop is, I would say, rather significant. And yeah, and I think I'm not very flexible. Mainly, again, because I've been off the bike for so long, I can't really flex that much. So yeah, I kind of suffered in the previous ride. What else is there to talk about? There are actually 3 bolts, 3 Torx, T-O-R-X, Torx bolts once you remove the cap. And I understand people put Torx bolt is because it doesn't round off as easily as those normal hex bolts, but I swapped them all out for the hex bolts because my multi-tool does not have the Torx. yeah, so I swapped them out, including the one at the seat post. The bolt was also a Torx. I took them out. I put a normal hex bolt in there because of my multi-tool. So that's more on the front. Let me know if you guys have any questions in front. Again, in the unboxing video, I think you guys can see what the inner side of the stem looks like, so we'll talk about that. Let's talk about the finishing here. So this is again matte with a gloss finish here and back down to matte. It looks a bit weird because I don't know if this is like a sticker or like a laminate. It's not as clean, the way it's done. Yeah, so you guys tell me, man, is this some kind of sticker or what? It feels a bit weird. I would like it if it was entirely glossed out. So here is a bit of matte finish, I guess, to save weight. And the fork, some people commented in my previous video, the fork looks skinny, looks weird. I think it looks fine, man. It looks pretty okay to me. And these bottle cages, AliExpress, man, I think it was like what, 10 bucks. I've used it for almost 2 years now, holds really well. Okay, it doesn't hold the bottle really well, but it still works and it's quite light. Nothing special here. Okay, this is my saddle, the Selle Italia SLR Boost that I bought on Carousel for $100. I think this saddle is pretty heavy, but seems to be working fine for me. In terms of accessories as well, I'm running the Garmin H530, and this is the exposure lights, which I really like because it has the light always stays on and it blinks all the time. And it's really small and neat. So I got one in front and one at the back, and I mounted it on with this, I believe it's from Exposure Light, I'm not sure, I got them from One Bike Asia. I just like hiding all my accessories to make it look really slim, nice and seamless. Oh yeah, let me talk about these stickers, man. I was recommended these stickers from my friends on Discord from AliExpress, and look at who came out, man. Taylor Finney, not my name and my flag, from Hong Kong. This was the template they had on AliExpress. I think they didn't see my message and they just stuck and they just gave me this, so I got ripped off, but I got a refund. But I thought it was kind of funny that I stuck it there as like a good story to tell when someone asks me about it. I've got the NV SES 5.6. These are my old wheels. I've had them about for 2 or 3 years now. Again, these are very heavy wheels, too deep for me as well. Would have preferred something much more shallower. Again, with the Chris King R45s. Group set, I'm running Ultegra Di2 11 speed. These are my old group sets. I think this is a 34 and 1134, I think, and a 5236. I've swapped out for the Dura Ace chainring because I'm running the Quark D4 power meter. If I have the Ultegra chainring, it just does not sit well over here aesthetically, so I swapped them out to the Dura Ace ones. I've got Quark D4 power meter, and shout out to Cage Cycles for giving me this pair of Kyo blade. First time on the Kyo pedals. I've been running Shimano for my entire life, first time on a different system, and what I have to say is that I don't feel any difference pedaling, but clipping in, this is extremely tight, which I like. I feel very secure clipping into this, so good on that. But when I walk on my road shoes, it does not have the cleats itself does not have any rubber grip at the bottom, so when I walk it's very slippery. So that's about that. And nothing special here, no OSPW, but I've got this pulley wheels that was given to me by one of my interviewees before. It's just with some ball bearings, but I think it's not sealed, so sometimes it kind of gets stuck. I have to take it out and add a bit of grease or oil. else? I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, one thing I like about the handlebars is that the drop is quite shallow and it's quite long here. I know some bars are not as long here and the drops are very deep, but this one are very shallow bars, so nice on that one. And the T47, I've got Humbini's bottom bracket in there. If anyone's going to ask me what's the difference, I would say there's nothing. I can't tell any difference between a extremely expensive bottom bracket and something that's cheap. I would have to say that, like the ones with ball bearings, it is very smooth. You feel it when you ride, but I think over time your body kind of gets used to that feeling. So yeah. And I've got Michelin Power Cups, sponsored to me by Michelin, thank you. These are 25C clinchers, obviously, up to 90, 100 PSI now. This rolls pretty well. I still feel the Vittoria rolls much faster, but I've ridden GP 5000s only and 4000 S2. The Michelin Power Cup is a slick tire. It's very sticky. So first impressions, it's very sticky. In terms of rolling between the GP 5000, maybe just slightly better. Might be placebo, you guys would say that. But if you guys have owned the Michelins and different tires, let me know which tires you think are the best. Okay, starting to rain, I'm going to seek shelter. That's it for now. I probably will do a full interview. I'll find someone who's suitable to interview me, and you guys can submit questions. So that's my bike so far. This is a one take, 7.8 kilograms, guys. 7.8. Extremely heavy, man. For the amount of money you're paying, I don't know if it's worth the money. You guys tell me. And personally, I feel that bikes, after you spend a certain amount of money, the amount of return that you get is marginal. I would say something around, after spending 4,000 bucks for a frame, anything more than that, it's marginal. But against my Venge, to be honest, I find the Venge a bit faster. Maybe that bike is much more aerial compared to this one, but you know what, I've already got this one. You just got to train your fitness, man. No point buying such an expensive frame if you can't ride, you don't have the legs for it. The other day, my last ride on the weekend, I got dropped so badly, and my friends who are on much more cheaper bikes are so much more faster than me. They're on rim brakes. One of my friend's friend who was riding a Gusto, so much more faster than me on this bike. So yeah, up to debate, guys. Please comment. What do you think of the bike? Before I think I missed a couple of points on the wheels. I've owned them for close to 3 years, 2 and over years. It is extremely true. I have not had any issues with them being untrue. I've not trued them before, so the wheels, the rims are pretty okay. And for such deep wheels, obviously the acceleration takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort when you're at the lights, trying to get it to spool up, to spin. I have to be off saddle and got to really crank it up. However, if you are pedaling like for me, when I am up on TMCR, West Coast Highway, just above 40 kilometers per hour, these wheels really maintain its speed. So I don't have to crank out so much power. Just the initial phase, just trying to get it up to 40, takes a lot of effort. And I think that's for all rims that are very deep, not only the NV SES. Again, these are my first pair of carbon rims. No, actually that's not right. I've owned the Rovel C25, I think, that I got with the SL6, the stock ones, and then I upgraded to a much more deeper one. So I've only had 2 carbon rims my entire life, so these are the most expensive ones that I've had. And in terms of the hubs, the Chris King R45s, the reason I wouldn't recommend them is because I think the amount of money you're paying for them, it's just really expensive. And you could have just gotten, I could have just gotten like DT Swiss or whatever, but I guess I was just being a bit vain and I just spent a bit too much money on the hubs. So that's on the wheels. And one more thing I missed out was the way you adjust I'm very particular with how I adjust my bike and how bike manufacturers designs all these things. So I like the design of how this is made for the look. So when you can never get it wrong. So you just have to loosen this bolt here. Okay, if it's not focusing on my phone, but yeah, you just loosen or tighten this, and you don't have to adjust this one, so it's always level. then you just have to tighten this. And I like that they have this O-ring here, which makes it much easier to use your fingers and just to tighten them, and you just don't have to fiddle around with that. So that's a really good one. And no issues so far with seat post slipping whatsoever. And again, from one of my interviewees, I've learned a trick to kind of stick this electrical tape or duct tape over your bolt so that if you sweat a lot, you will not rust. And I think I've really forgotten to give the actual review of the bike. Again, I've only ridden 100 kilometers on this bike, so I have to say it's the first thing is the position. The position is just very aggressive for me, which I like. I think I just got to ride a bit more and I just got to get used to it. And people always talk about, oh, how stiff is it and stuff. You know, at the end of the day, it's just a bike, right? I don't crank out so much power, so I can't tell how stiff it is. So if I'm going to compare it against, obviously, like the Merida Sculptura that I rode, the Venge feels a bit more stiffer. Again, you guys might say it's placebo, and I will not deny that, but yeah, I think it's very hard to quantify or explain stiffness to me personally. But in terms of just slicing through wind and everything, I again just want to reiterate that it's really marginal gains. Like after you spend so much money, I think like after 4,000-5,000, anything more than that, it's really marginal gains. For a weekend rider like me, don't get me wrong, I'm just a weekend rider, so I don't join competitions whatsoever. Just want to make that clear. So, but I just like bikes, man. Like I know this is a very expensive bike, but I think and I hope this will be the last bike that I will ever own, given the amount of money that I splurged on this. So that's it, I guess, for the first 100 kilometers review. I'm not going to bullshit and just say it's a great bike or whatever, but that's just my initial review so far for 100 kilometers. I might do another one next time, like a full interview, and give a much better review once I've clocked in more miles. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.